American way, throwing bets like haymakers. UFC fight night, no faking these heartbreakers. Punch stats, bankrolls, the scorecards never fold. 8 off 21, sports talking bold like fist catching gold. Mike check, Eric saying underdogs got swagger. Weight counter champs got a clan and jaw won't stagger. Money on the line, bets as sharp as a dagger. Hot cops, bling, flashing lights, heavyweight bagger. 8 off 21, clash of minds, no surprise. Eric Wade in the ring, shouting hard, shooting high. Fight night dreams, cold cash gleam in their eyes. Betting broad, UFC calls on the podcast sky.
Let's welcome Wade to the podcast to talk a little UFC 315. Wade, how are you doing today, my man?
Doing fantastic as always, man. Glad to be back with you. Got a pay-per-view this weekend, so yeah, I'm ready to dive into this, man. I know you're not really loving the card too much, but I think I found some good plays I like.
Just to show you how much I'm not loving the card, guess what I'm doing on Saturday?
You're going to go wine taste and go to an arts and crafts festival with your new lady.
Same level, I'm going to Marlins White Sox.
Ah, okay. All right. Hey.
You know what?
I don't hate that.
No, you know what? It is what it is. Going to watch a little baseball. My goal this year is to see 4, at minimum, games in 4 different stadiums. So I'm kicking it off with a little Marlins White Sox. And don't be really jealous. I'm going out to Denver to see the Rockies.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
I'm going to see all the shitty teams. That's my goal this year.
You got to go to the Brewers Stadium. I know it's closer to you, so it's kind of easier to travel.
I'm going to go up to Brewers, I think, in August. And then I hate going down to the Cubs Stadium because that's a pain in the ass to get to. So,
yeah, I've already missed my boat. Usually I go up. I don't think the Athletics come back to Chicago, but past like 10 years, we went up to watch the A's play the White Sox at least for a weekend, like a Friday, Saturday thing. But they've already played in Chicago this year. And last year I refused to go because I was so sick of the Athletics and their ownership and everything. And then it's like they're one of the better teams in baseball, honestly, this year, second place right now. I was like, I should have went. But
I was pissed that I didn't fly. I had a chance to fly out to go see Wu, my boy Brian Wu, against the Athletics. But I mean, at the end of the day, it would have been a weekend trip to Oakland. I would have had to drop $1,500. I can't mentally get my head there to do that. But we're not
maybe
here.
One day. That's the dream. I'd love to go to every stadium, check out everyone.
We're not here to talk though about our baseball dreams. We're here to talk some UFC 315.
Yeah, we got some UFC dreams too, baby.
We got some UFC dreams. We each have 3 picks, and we are going to do a DFS lineup. So let's jump right into it. And you talk about your first pick, my man.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with Young Lee money line, minus 130. I just recently looked, and I think the best odds for that right now are minus 134. I'd still take that. I guess if you want to wait and see if it comes back down. He did open the week as a dog, and it's completely flipped. So, I don't know. Maybe you want to wait if you don't want to take this type of line. Now it's not minus 130 anymore. You could wait and get lucky. Maybe it comes back down to like minus 115 before, because usually fight day these lines do move a little bit. Look, just don't overlook Young Lee. And I really want my money back from his last fight. I took him against Hyder Emil. Hindsight wasn't really a great bet. I did not think he was going to stand there and just try to bang out with Hyder, and he did, and he caught the bad end of the wrong punches. And I think he's going to be a little bit smarter this fight. I think he learned his lesson in that fight. You just can't get into those types of brawls, especially with a guy like Hyder Emil who just has that power. I just don't think that Daniel Santos is that same type of fighter. Now, Santos is a striker, and he can be very good at times, but he's also coming off a 2-year layoff, almost 2-year layoff. And I just don't think he's going to have the same type of skills and threat on the feet. Lee is a much bigger fighter. He's taller. He's got the bigger reach, and he's going to be way more explosive. And I do think he can show strengths in the grappling game. I don't think Santos is going to try to get this thing down on the ground because he is a smaller fighter. And what I do think is the smarter game plan is for Lee to actually take this to the ground. I think he can find a lot of damage there, and he could even find himself a possible ground and pound KO. He's coming off a KO loss. Usually I guess I want to say scary, but it's also, I guess you want to be wary of taking a guy that's coming off a KO loss.
Yeah.
But I think he's in a good place. I think he's got a good opposition here. If he was fighting somebody that was regularly active, maybe I'd be more worried. But I don't have too much fear in Santos here. He could come out with a victory. Santos does have some good skills. He's not a bad fighter by any means, but I just think I'd like to back Lee coming off that loss. He's started off in the UFC 2-0. They put him in that fight that he just did not have a smart IQ in, and I think he's going to learn from that, and I think he should get it done here.
I like it. I like it. My first bet, and I'm going to the co-main event. I am taking Shevchenko plus 125, and here is why. One of the greatest ever to step into the octagon. Her game has never been flashy volume or roaring pressure. It's just precision, pinpoint counters, nasty body kicks. An effective takedown game have dominated her during her run. She's facing Florat, great athlete, no doubt, but I don't really think she's a second coming of Johanna on her feet. Florat more physical than technical. Her wins are more stuffing takedowns and muscling her way through fights. I think stylistically, this is going to be a little bit different of a challenge. Shevchenko has gone toe-to-toe with some of the most dangerous women in MMA, Gasso, Nunes, Penne, all of them, and her fight IQ, champion experience, and her ability to make mid-fight adjustments. I really feel this is going to be the key here, especially in the striking matchup where neither woman is going to run away with it early. Then when we look at Florat's wins post-prime Rose, we all know Rose isn't what she used to be, and Blanchfield when she was still developing. Do you tend to guess how many significant strikes Erin Blanchfield had when they fought? You have a guess, man?
60.
130.
What?
Yeah, 130 significant strikes. Dude,
Heavy.
If Shevchenko's able to do this, it's going to be night and day. Shevchenko had 8 takedowns against Carresso. I think that's a huge wrinkle in this fight. I think Shevchenko is going to try to get this to the ground more than people think. And if it goes there, I give her the advantage. I know she's 37, but she's only 18 months older than Floret. So she's not as young as people think. I'm getting Shevchenko at plus money in a technical fight. This is a bet I have to make 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, no hate to go there. This is both main events. This card are very tricky to figure out. So I have not officially placed a bet on either one of them as far as money line sides. I'm still thinking about it.
I'll be honest. I am probably not even going to bet the main event. I am so effing confused on what to do.
I feel that way about both of these fights, especially the one you just talked about too. I see sides for both girls. It's really tough to go against that experience that Shevchenko has. She's just she's fought everybody, man.
So let's jump to your next fight, my man. You got a nice little juicy parlay.
Yeah, found a parlay over on DraftKings for minus 127. Took this not too long ago, actually, so the line should still be good. I think it was like minus almost 140 on Bet365 was the next closest odds. I took Natalia Silva money line, and I paired that with the Jose Aldo and Zahabi fight to go over 2.5 rounds. Let me pull up my article. Natalia Silva is one of the most dynamic young flyweights on the roster. She's athletic, technical, and she's rapidly improving every single fight. She averages more significant strikes landed per minute. She has a higher striking accuracy and a higher striking defense. If this stays on the feet, she should be able to handle business. I think if Grasso wants to take her down, I say good luck with that. Silva has a 91% takedown defense. I'm just not sure how well that's going to go. And if she does take her down, Silva's really quick and she can really scramble around. I just don't think I've been really a big fan of Grasso, honestly, the last couple of years, but I just don't think she has it. Natalia's going to be, like I said, the quicker fight. I think she's going to be able to outpoint Grasso. I think it's going to go to a decision. I really don't see a finish on either side here. And I think Silva's probably going to have a pretty dominant decision here. She should win by more than, I'd say, 3.5, more than 5.5. I see like a 30-27 across the board type of victory for her here. She should be able to control the distance, do whatever she wants. I just think she's probably my favorite play on this entire card. And for me to say that probably says how the strength of this card, because I don't really like to bet on women's MMA that much. I like the girls over round props, but I typically don't touch women's MMA sides that often. But I think this is a very good look as far as a parlay piece goes. And I'm going to pair her with over 2.5 rounds in the Jose Aldo Amin Zahabi fight. I really do think this brings down some solid value here. Aldo is probably back for one more dance. I'm not sure if he's going to fight another one after this. Maybe. He seems to be durable enough to give us 2 or 3 more fights in his career, possibly just finish off this year, unless things just go horrifically bad for him this weekend, which I really don't think it's going to. Zahabi's really quick and rising. He's won 5 straight fights. I believe he's won 7 out of his last 8. I just don't see any upside on an Aldo finish. Aldo's probably not going to finish anybody at this point in his career. And I just believe Aldo's too crafty and he's too experienced to get taken out by Zahabi here. Zahabi's not really looked the best in his last few fights, even though he's won them. He's shown some struggles in those fights. And I just think it's going to be a too close of a fight. Zahabi should respect what Aldo can bring, even though Aldo's lost 2 of his last 3 fights. He lost a very close decision in his last fight. He could very well be on a 2-fight win streak here. Not to say he's been dominant in any of those fights. But as I look at it, Aldo's average fight time is 14 minutes and 15 seconds. Zahabi's is 11 minutes and 23 seconds. So even though there can be some finishing upside on the Zahabi side, I just don't think we're going to get there. I think this is going to go to a decision. And hopefully for Aldo, I always root for Aldo. But with this being in Canada, man, if this is a close fight, the judges may just side with Zahabi. So side note, if I want to give out a bonus bet, I did take Zahabi plus 3.5 as a point spread. Minus 165 odds. Odds suck, but I just don't see a world where if Aldo wins, I don't think he's going to be winning by 30-27. I think it'll be more of like a 29-28 type of fight. And I do think Zahabi can at least win one round, possibly win the whole fight. So I wouldn't put money on Zahabi probably as a money line here. I respect Aldo too much, but this should go the distance.
I like this one a lot. My next one, and look, only big dog I could really find. Racky plus 170.
Chuck Buffalo, baby.
Look, he's Muhammad's training. They have a connection, but don't let it fool you. Stylistically, they couldn't be more different. Racky, he's chaos. He's a wrestler, but he carries some serious power in his hands, totally willing to brawl. Big reason why he's got 2 first-round KOs in 4 UFC appearances. Of course, that same aggression did cost him against Peretz, but it's also what makes him dangerous in this matchup. Racky, the smaller fighter, but he never lets his opponents get comfortable, and that matters here because Murat likes to meet fire with fire, but in his last case, when we saw a more patient version of him, Brian Giles didn't make him comfortable in the fight. Racky got finished 2 fights ago. Murat's a guy who looks for submissions, not KOs. Racky's never been submitted. And when a guy like Muhammad, who you train with compete perhaps with Habib's camp, calls you one of the best grapplers he rolled with, that kind of means something. If Racky can survive the early storm, his cardio should carry him into the later rounds. Also, Mulat's never really been tested. And the cherry on top, I don't know if you saw this. Racky said that someone has to pay for the way that the Canadians booed the USA's national anthem during that hockey game that over the winter. Racky's going to come out there. He's going to be all jacked up. I think he's going to move forward. I think he's going to be a little bit more aggression. I would also sprinkle a little bit on the knockout. Wouldn't surprise me if he knocks him out in round 3. I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna be soft. I'm gonna play the money line plus 170. Next one, my man, and this is the biggest wording that has ever been on this show before. You are muted, my friend.
So yeah, I was gonna say, as far as that play goes, it was either that parlay or the spread for Zahabi. So you guys get all four of my picks from the article on the show today. This parlay minus 137, I believe, was on Bet 365. I think it's like minus 150 over on DraftKings, so a little bit of value. On Bet 365, took the Shevchenko Fioro and the Muhammad Madalena fight both to go over 3.5 rounds. Look, I just think we got two high-level technical battles, and there's elite durability on all sides of these fights. Shevchenko versus Fioro, though it will have moments, I ultimately believe will go the distance. I believe we will get most of the minutes on the feet as these two tangle and try to figure each other out. Fioro should respect Shevchenko's experience, which I believe will help push this to the later rounds. I just believe we have a higher upside on a finish in this fight. If it goes later in the rounds, I think maybe like round 4, round 5, when one of these fighters I expect to hit a wall. We don't know who's it going to be. Maybe they both go the full distance and they both look extremely durable and don't get tired. But I just think there's going to be a lot of action in this fight, and I think one of these fighters is going to wear down where we could get a late finish. I'm not sure who would have the higher upside finish. I'm still struggling to figure out who's going to win that fight, but I think it's going to be a very competitive fight, and I would be shocked if somebody found a finish early in that one. And then the Bilal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena fight. Really, we've got a clash of fight styles here. We've got somebody who really likes to pressure wrestle, and we've got really sharp boxing on the other side. Muhammad can get caught with strikes, as we've seen in his previous fights, so he needs to be on all of his P's and Q's against Madalena, or he could get caught with a shot early. So this is probably a fight where both fighters might see damage early, and they're both going to have to weather the storm. And I think they both can. We've seen both of them weather the storms. We've seen Madalena break his arm in the first round in his last fight, I believe, or maybe it was the fight before that. And he ended up finishing Gilbert Burns in the last round of that fight. So to question either one of these fighters, I guess durability, I think is crazy. Muhammad has probably one of the best cardios in the entire division. He's not one of those fighters who after a fight bloats up and gets really fat. This guy stays ripped. He stays fit, and then he's ready to get fit for his fights. So I just think both of these guys, unless we have some crazy finish early, I think we will see, if we do see a finish in one of these fights, whether we get a knockout one way or the other or a submission, I also think it's going to happen deep later in the rounds. When Bilal wins, he takes his fights deep and they go to a decision. And he's gone to a decision in 7 of his last 8 fights. He did finish Sean Brady in the second round a couple fights ago, but I don't think Madalena is going to get himself caught in that same situation. And I think Madalena is a little bit more, I want to say durable than Brady, because I really like what Brady brings. But I think Madalena is just a whole nother type of dog. So I just think that both of these fights should see the championship rounds. Hopefully it does for all of us, because if we have a early KO by Madalena or something, that will suck. And it's very possible.
This is a great bet. Great find by you. Makes a lot of sense in the world. I think both these fights go deep into the deep waters. My next one, and look, I had no idea what the F to do. I was struggling for a bet. And I have no confidence in this bet, but I'm giving it out because I did bet it. Give me Jasmine Jurevicius to win via sub plus 360. Jessica Aldrea, more UFC experience than anyone on the roster, 26-13. But she's lost 4 of her last 6. Last time out was outclassed by your girl Silva, who you mentioned earlier. Jasmine, on the other hand, 13-3 overall, 4-fight winning streak, coming off a big win over Bruna Silva. She's got a 6-inch height advantage, reach advantage. More importantly, she's got better wrestling. In her last 3 fights alone, she's landed 10 takedowns, racked up over 20 minutes of control time. She is just dominated, just suffocating her opponents. Andrea still has fighting power, but she's small. She is so small, and physically, this just is not going to add up for her. 2 of her last 4 losses were by submission. Jasmine has 2 sub wins of her own in her last 4 fights. The blueprint is there. It's a Montreal fight, too. I think Jasmine is going to be fighting in front of the whole crowd. Adrenaline going is going to be a real factor. I think Andrea is going to blitz forward, try to finish this early. Jasmine's going to get her to the ground. And then once it gets on the ground, I think Andrea is just going to eventually just give up her back. We're going to see a choke. She's going to tap out. Give me Jasmine Juravicious to win via sub, dude, at plus 360. Taking a girl's fight to win inside the distance. What the hell could go wrong there, man?
I thought about, I'm still debating her double chance, KO or submission. It's plus 180. Still decent odds.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
I think that fight is definitely violence. I think Jazz the Vicious wins by finish. It's just that which one is she going to finish by? And to be honest with you, the last, I don't know, couple years of doing this, it seems to me when I see other people take like a submission parlay, 90% of the time that fighter ends up winning by a knockout. So yeah. Anytime I debate this, I end up just going to the double chance. I'm not going to. I think she has a higher upside of submitting, and then she's going to try to get her in a submission thing, and then she's going to end up doing some kind of ground and pound knockout. I just watch. This is going to be,
which is something I was looking at too, but I just went with this one. Just
I love the odds. Too bad it's not like plus 400, but plus 380 is pretty good.
You can't complain. Let's bring up the DraftKings here. And rock with that.
Organize it by salary.
With that being said, boom, I want Jasmine in.
Yeah, she's good. Silva should be a play.
You want Silva in too? All right, so we're starting off with 2 women.
I don't know. That's kind of stinks, don't it?
Yeah.
I think both are going to win. I was going to say, what are
you like Racky at all?
I'm debating that fight as well. It's like I'm either going to put a half. I'm debating splitting that fight, putting a half unit on Radke, and then just a half unit on that fight to finish by a finish, just regardless of who wins. But I don't think there's a very good odds on that one. So I don't know. I think Benoit Saint Denis is a lock, but I don't think that's valuable for us at all.
Jesus, at 9,700, no.
Organize it by salary, would you? Christ, they have Aldo at 9,000.
I really don't want a piece of Aldo. That's someone I really don't want.
No, I'm not interested in that. He could win, but I don't think so. I love Radke. I'm wavering on him. I'm not sure he could
get grimy.
He could get submitted or something.
And have all 3 women in the lineup.
I think we got to do it, man. I think we got to do it. That fight's going to go the distance, so she's going to score, right?
Yeah.
Even if she doesn't win somehow, could be a close decision or something.
Yeah, the fight will score. So we let 3.
I'm just kind of looking at these average points and stuff and trying to get an idea who I think's really going to do well. What's Lee's points? He must be lower than. Wow, he only averages 41? I don't know about that. He only averages 41. He could get the knockout, though.
But,
he fights these boring fights at the last 2. I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, he really doesn't score on that much, so. Racky's kind of calling my name, dog.
I don't hate Radke. He's one of my favorite dogs on this card. I think Katana's going to win.
Oh, hold on. Where's Racky at? Boom. Let's put Racky.
Although Katana points is a play I like too.
So I mean,
I'm just so torn on this card because all these fights, it's like I like Muhammad and JDM. I like Fiora and Shevchenko. Like I don't know what to do on anything.
We can definitely pull in a bigger price right now. So is there anyone at the top you kind of looking at here?
I think Benoit Saint Denis wins. I think Sterling wins. I think, although Sterling is risky because he's undefeated and hasn't really had that much experience, so I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't put him in there. I can't believe Muhammad only gets 79 points. He goes the distance every fight. He's just got the boring wrestling crap, a lot of control, no real damage. He's been up 100 4 of the last 5.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty.
it's gonna go 5 rounds.
That's pretty good. So we got 8,300 left, man.
I mean, shoot, we could throw in there JDM. Both those guys should score a bunch, no?
No,
JDM's gonna do damage like crazy. I like Katana,
all right, hold on. All right, so we got here down.
but he's a wrestler. I'm torn on the Kutalaba fight too. I think either one of those guys can win that damn thing. Leaning Bakauskas right now. Just looking at that, who I believe is going to win.
Yeah, who do you believe is going to win out of these?
The ones that I trust, I guess the only one I trust on this entire list is Lee. Katana, on the other hand, I think can win, but I'm debating taking his plus points.
I think that fight is truly a 50-50 fight.
What? Which one?
Katana.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. That's what I'm debating, taking the Katana point spread. He's like plus 3.5, so I don't know if he's going to win.
So let's go Lee.
Yeah, I think Lee's going to win, man. I really do. I'm very confident in Lee.
We're going to go Jasmine, Jurevicius.
I like this.
Sylvia, Sevchenko, Raki, Mohammed, and Lee. That is going to be our DFS lineup. And I'm just letting you guys know, I do these on Friday for MLB. I only enter the 50-50. Someone DM me who followed the contest that we gave up on Diamond Bets, and they won $2,000. It won the contest, and like an idiot, I didn't do it. So I'm going to enter this one in a contest and a 50-50 lineup.
Nice.
Wade, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your schedule, coming on, talking a little UFC 315. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media, my friend?
Yeah, just come check me out on all social media platforms at Top Flight Wagers. Check out any of the links in any of those descriptions. You can come join our VIP. That'll get you access to our Discord. Use code NEW, and you can get 50% off your first week or month, and you get a 3 free day trial with that. So you can come peek your head behind the curtains for a weekend with us if you want. Eric's in there giving out some nice plays every day when he remembers to. Mike, same way. So we've got some guys out there giving some really good plays, really experienced cappers. I'm really liking what we're building over there. So it's we got a good team. I hope we can keep cashing bets for our listeners here, man.
I just posted a nice little prize pick entry for tonight's MLB in there. So make sure to check that out. Make sure to give Wade a follow at Top Flight Wagers. Is there a card next week?
This is something that I actually usually look at ahead of time, and this is the one week that I did not look ahead, but I'm pulling it up right now.
Is there a fight next week? That's the $1 million question.
It's May 17th. Fight night, Burns, Morales. I can't believe Gilbert Burns is still fighting. I'm sorry. He stinks. I hope Michael Morales puts him out. But Michael Morales is 17-0. We've had like 8 undefeated guys lose this year already. I'm sure Gilbert Burns is probably going to win that fight. Morales is minus 600 odds. If anybody's going to take minus 600 odds on a 17-0 fighter against a very experienced Gilbert Burns, you are crazy.
I find it weird that they have not announced a main event yet for 317.
Next week's card kind of sucks. And how Julian Orosa's fighting again? Didn't he just fight?
Oh, dude. So this is the card. These are the cards I love, dude.
There's like nothing good on next week's card, although we'll find. This is your.
This is like my garbage that I love, dude.
Yeah, you'll find all sorts of plus monies here, man, for sure. We'll find something for sure, but that is not a good looking card next week.
Guys, make
Blanchfield, your girl Blanchfield against Macy Barbers the week after.
Dude, she's not my girl, dude. You know who my girl is, dude.
Which one did you say they didn't have a main card? Oh, 317?
317 does not have anything. Yeah, dude.
Is that the one they were talking about keeping open for
This fight card's nasty too.
That can't be the Jones one.
No.
Divashili and O'Malley's coming up. Oh, Kayla Harrison is minus 600 odds against Julia Pena. I think she's going to wipe the floor with Pena. I could be wrong. That's why I don't bet girl fights a lot.
Oh, dude, I hope Pena kills Harrison. But
I hope the Sensei Luque destroys Kevin Holland and then finally makes him retire from UFC. But
my boy Chico's coming back on UFC 316. But
yeah, this UFC 316 card's pretty good, man.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Ariane De Silva's fighting on there. Joshua Van's fighting Bruno Silva. That's a really good fight.
Solid card. Wade, I'd like to thank you for coming on. Make sure to give my boy Wade a follow at Top Fight Wagers and on social media. We'll be back next week talking a little more UFC. Best of luck, my friend.
You too, man.